Hello, my fair friends. I'm Ruby Ruse. This is Baby Bunny, and welcome to Fairy Fortunes. I'm still sitting in the remnants of my fairy ritual that I did, so I do hope that you will check out my Welcoming of the Fae fairy ritual. But before I stopped recording for the day, I did want to take a moment and just do my April depth year update. I entered 2020 with the idea that I wanted to do a depth year. And what a depth year is it's about looking at aspects and elements in your life and going deep within those elements. The idea is to delve into items that you already possess and seeing how that meaning might have changed for you, and just identifying new pathways and learning from things that are already in your environment. It seems to have the side effect of limiting like your spending habits, so that's a great thing too. Another element that I love about it is that by delving deep, sometimes you have to realize that certain items no longer have meaning for you. So that in turn is rooting out clutter in your life, where you can root that out and pass it on so that someone else will give it purpose and meaning. So I wanted to use the 12 houses of geomancy. They are also the 12 houses of astrology. Astrology and geomancy are highly connected. And so that was going to be the theme of each of my months. So for the month of April, that was in the house of home. And I'm going to be honest with you, actually it was in February that I got injured, and I unfortunately lost my way a bit in February due to that injury. It wasn't just the physical pain of the injury. There were just a lot of emotional things that went along with getting injured, and a lot of guilt. As I laugh at myself, what else can I do but laugh? And I lost someone to the COVID-19 virus. I lost one of my coworkers who was kind of special to me. He was special to a lot of us. And I've been home with my injury since February, and I have been struggling a lot with some survivor guilt, because I've been safe this whole time, and he wasn't, and I just was dealing with a lot of emotions regarding that. I had all of these major plans for the theme of home. I was gonna go into each room of my house and do a deep cleaning and really look at every single item that was in that room and see and make sure that it spoke to me and had meaning. And it was another hard thing for me to realize, is that I couldn't do the cleaning that I wanted to really do because of the injury that I have on my right side. It's hard to mop floors and vacuum when you are missing strength in your dominant arm. I think another thing that I learned is that after my friend died, I just felt that I had to do something. I just felt I needed to serve and protect and be a part of the community and So I started making face masks like a crazy person. Um, I wish I could have made more, actually, but the making of masks actually was very difficult for me. But I decided that I was going to make all of my I had this idea in my head that I was going to make every single coworker, and there's a lot because I work in a very, very large police station, and I wanted to make sure that every police officer in my station house had a mask. And I learned very quickly that I was not ever going to be able to do that because I would get to the point where my arm kind of aches a great deal of the time anyway, and I do not have full range of motion in it. I can't, I can raise it up above my head if it's forward, but I can't raise my arm above my head to the side yet, and that's very frustrating. And even with the sewing, where I was very much keeping my arm close to my body most of the time, with all of the work and the turning and the looking down, because my spinal injury is actually right here in my neck, I would get to the point where I really barely could move, and then I would go to my physical therapy appointments, and I would be in tears because I was in that much pain. And I had to realize that I wasn't helping anybody by causing harm to myself. And so I stopped. I stopped making masks. I did pick them up and I made a few more. And then I ran out of fabric. So I don't have any choice now. I have to stop making masks because I don't have any more fabric to use, really. And I learned that you really do have to take time for yourself. You really do have to include yourself in service, in compassion, in protection. Because if you keep pouring out of your vessel, there's not going to be anything left in it to give to somebody else. And that was something that I've learned being at home and being in isolation and trying very desperately to reach out and connect and be a part of the community. And the other thing, though, is that I made all of these masks, and due to my injury, I don't feel that I did enough. I made maybe, how many did I make? I think I made about 50 or 60 masks, and that's kind of a lot. It's a little bit a lot, but I know so many other people that have done so much more than me, and I felt like what I had done wasn't enough. And that was another lesson that I learned in this element of home, is a little can be a lot. If it's honestly what you can give, it was worth giving. And you have to honor each and every gift. And I got so angry at a friend on social media because she said, "But what can we do?" And I was kind of a little bit on the vicious side to her, so I'm so glad that she was able to not be, well, I hope she wasn't harmed by what I had to say, because she is a good person and I think she meant well. But I got so angry at her. She's like, "What can we do?" And I'm like, there's always something that we can do. We can donate money to organizations. We can make masks, as many as we are able to do. And we can stay at home. There's always something that you can do, and a drop in the pan of water is more than was there before. So it is worth doing. It does make a difference. So I'm trying to spend this last week of April reflecting on those lessons that I experienced at home. And even the introvert that I am, enjoying that isolation of not having that responsibility to other people, but still wanting to connect in some way to others and be a part of the community. And there is a way to be a part of the community and not sacrifice ourselves to the point where we're in pain. We give what we can. And then it's okay to stop. It's all right to be selfish. I say this all the time. The Fae do not have any moral construct. That is a human thing. They don't have morality. The Fae also don't understand selfishness. The word pride in their language, the word that most closely resembles what we have to pride is in the context of, I'm so proud that my fairy cakes are delicious and were an appropriate offering for the Fae. That is something to be proud of. So the Fae have a word that has that context. But to be prideful, to have pride be shameful, the Fae do know what shame is. They do experience regret sometimes, but they don't. The word pride and shame do not connect in their language. So they don't understand that this concept that selfishness is bad. They very much articulate that you must take care of yourself first, because if you are not at a place where you are strong and healthy, there is no way that you're going to be able to support anyone else. So it's interesting what you learned in complete isolation at home. What's interesting is that in my fairy system, my fairy fortune system, the fairy creature that correlates to the house of home is Populus the Penantes, which is a creature from Greek mythology. These are beings that were heralded as gods in ancient times. They're very, very powerful spirits. And so it's that idea of self-care, self-nurturing. That is something that is divine. That is something that needs to come first. The other thing is that the house of home is also related to the astrological sign of Cancer, which is what I am. Born in July. I know, you're shocked. My name is Ruby, which is the birthstone of July. Wow. Who knew? Anyway. Cancer is the realm of emotions. So, while I didn't accomplish like the task that I had in mind when I planned out this depth year back in December of 2019, I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna declutter and I'm gonna deep clean. And I did, in fact, buy a carpet steamer, which I can't use right now because my arm doesn't work well enough. I guess I could have my son do it. Do you think he would? I'll ask him. Anyway, cancers are very much the realm of emotion. So while I didn't accomplish my set tasks that I had for myself, I do feel like, boy, did I run the gambit of emotions this month. I've learned some really important things, and remembering that, you know, it is important to take care of yourself. You must. You cannot sacrifice yourself. So the home is a place of emotion. Which, that I accomplished, for sure. I did do that. So I feel that I did accomplish my theme, just in an unexpected way. So I would love to hear, I would love to hear what kinds of experiences you've had being in isolation at home. Have you had any moments of powerful connection about learning about whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, or you know, how are you connecting in this time where you can't leave your own home? And what are the important lessons that you learned? For me, it was about making sure that I don't sacrifice myself in that desperation to be connected, to be responsible. So what are some of the lessons that you feel that you've learned during isolation? It would mean a lot to me if you could share that with me. So I look forward to your comments. Please be safe. I'm just so grateful that you're all here joining me on my journeys and my adventures. And I just want you to be safe. I'm just so grateful to all of you, and please be safe.